After standing up on the deck for a good half hour procrastinating, I am finally down in the flower bed that I'm going to be working on today, and I want to tackle two things. The first thing is I want to do some transplanting. I want to transplant this magnolia tree. It is struggling and not happy. So we're going to transplant that tree right to about there. I have a Spirea shrub back there that I also want to transplant there. And I also want to, of course, get this flower bed weeded, get the larkspur thinned out, because tomorrow I'd like to get this flower bed all mulched and tidied up. The first thing I'm going to do is just a little bit of weeding right here, a little bit of thinning out right here, and I'm going to get the two things transplanted. Okay. Like I said, that magnolia tree is just really struggling where it is. And I think the reason it's struggling is because it's getting too much shade. So my hopes is that when I transplant it from the one flower bed to the other flower bed, it's going to get more sunlight, but still be protected from harsh winds, because I don't want this magnolia tree to suffer any more than it already has from it being transplanted. And this ties into my theme this year of trying to save as much money as possible and reusing plants that I already have in the landscape, putting them in a different location to either help them thrive or to help the overall feel of the garden flow a little better. And in this spot that I'm cleaning up right now, this is where I'm going to be transplanting the Spirea. And that Spirea, I think, is just tucked a little too close to the fence line. So if I move it into this area where it has a little more room to breathe, I think it's going to fill out better, it's going to look aesthetically better, and it's going to add a little pop of yellow in this corner. All right, that took no time at all to weed all that, so I'm gonna go and dig up this Spirea and transplant that real quickly. Where did I put my shop ball? When you're digging up a tree or a shrub to transplant, you want to make sure that you're getting a really good root ball. You don't want to break any of the roots off when you're digging up the plant. You want to slowly work your way around it, making sure that you're getting all of the roots that you possibly can, and that's going to help ensure a successful transplant. Next step is to dig the hole to put the shrub in, and I'm going to be digging the hole as deep as a root ball and just a little bit wider to allow me to get all of the loose dirt back in, packed around the root ball to ensure a really good fit. You want the plant to be tucked in nice and securely without any air pockets, because air pockets means that the plant roots will stop growing. All right, got the shrub tucked into the hole, and I'm starting to fill in around the root ball with all the loose soil, packing it in as tightly as possible. Then once I'm done with this step, I am going to come back and give it a good water. Now it's time to transplant the magnolia tree. I did have to have husband come in and help dig this hole because I knew that this was a very rocky area. We have a lot of shale and digging can be quite difficult, and unfortunately my shoulder hurts a little bit, so husband stepped in and saved the day and started digging the hole to move the tree. Now we're going to go ahead and start digging out the tree that needs to be transplanted. And you can see he's going to work slowly around the tree to get a really good root ball. Now, even though the tree is struggling and there are brown leaves on it, when he dug this tree up, the roots looked really, really good. So I really do think this is just a location issue, and this tree is going to do just fine in its new home. We wanted to see how much more digging we had to do, or how much more digging husband had to do. So you can see right here, yes, the root ball is way too high. It is not level with the ground, so husband unfortunately had to dig some more. Time to fill in the hole. I'm just going to repeat the same process like I did with the shrub. We're going to make sure that we pack the soil in really tightly around the root ball to make sure that there's no air pockets. And then I'm going to come back and give this a good feed with some fertilizer. I had purchased this dogwood tree about 2 weeks ago at the local garden center, and I thought putting this dogwood tree where the magnolia tree used to be would be an excellent spot for it because dogwood trees like a little more shade. We needed just a little bit more soil to fill in the big hole that the magnolia tree left. So we had some leftover soil in a bag that we're just going to spread around, tuck in to make sure that there again are no air pockets around the root ball to ensure that this tree has a good chance of survival. It's a few days later and I got this flower bed all mulched up, and I wanted to show you how the trees look now that the flower beds are all tidied. I'll take you down and give you a closer look as well. Okay, walking down the garden path. Here is the magnolia that we transplanted. And I really do think it's going to do very well in this location. It's gonna get more sun, and I think it's gonna be happy and really take off. Oh, and the pollinators are out and about. We're supposed to get over an inch of rain this afternoon, so I guess the bumblebees are trying to get their food before it's time to hide from all the rain. Here's the magnolia looking from this angle. Very nice. And the dogwood tree, tucked in very nicely, going to be nice and protected. Get morning and late evening shade, so I think this is the perfect location for this tree. And here is the dogwood tree. You can see the magnolia in the background. Cannot wait to see how these thrive and flourish and how they look in a few months. I'm sure they are going to be stunning. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you haven't already, click that red subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I will see you in the next video. Bye.